So welcome back guys to another video, and today is going to be a fun topical discussion because I was going back and I was looking at some of my old videos that I've made, and I've been doing YouTube for almost 11 years now. Back when I first started YouTube, the PS4 and Xbox One and Wii U were rumors. That's how long ago it was. And when I started the channel, the gamer I was then and the gamer I am now are completely different. They share a lot of similarities. The gamer back in the past had a lot more hair on his head, but there's some differences. There's some major differences. So be sure to leave a comment below, guys. Tell me some things that you've changed in the past couple of years when it comes to your taste in gaming. So the first one I want to talk about is FOMO, fear of missing out. This is something I still struggle with every single month. Even more so now that, there are so many great games coming out. Like every single week, I feel like a new game is coming out that I need to play, whether it's a digital only or something AAA or indie. There's no shortage of games. This 2023 alone has just been insane. And that fear of missing out, just as a gamer, is stressful enough, not just financially, but just mentally, because you want to play every single game and have something to talk about. But also, if you're like me and you're a content creator, it's almost like I'm obligated to play all these new games and to let you guys know about them because I'm the video game guy. That's what I do. I talk about video games. But I learned real quick, even when I was getting review copies of titles and reaching out to companies, and I was so thankful to have those opportunities, but I learned that it was burning me out, and I was getting to the point that I was no longer wanting to play video games. I was no longer wanting to make YouTube videos. It was just bad. It was really, really bad. So I am more selective on what games I get because I know I don't have that much time. I only have 24 hours in a day, and 8 hours at least is working a 9 to 5. So I have to be very selective on what game I spend free time with, and most importantly, know that not every game I play, I have to make a YouTube video about. I think that's very important. I feel like even as a content creator, I feel like we should have games that we just enjoy playing. We don't have to make a video on. And with that being said, I've become more of a digital collector. Now, I sold my retro collection back in 2017, and I feel like when I sold that collection, I sold that attachment feeling. I still have that collector heart. There are still games I love to buy physically. I mean, a great example would be, Cotton Rock and Roll. I had to import it from Play Asia because at the time it didn't have a physical Western release. Or Live Alive on the Switch. I love the original on the Super Famicom, and I still haven't played this yet. I played the demo, but this is also a game that, I feel like in the next couple of years it's going to become harder to find. So that collector mindset is like, I want to have a physical copy of it. I want to have it on my shelf because if it's hard to find, I want to actually have it. And of course, nostalgia, like this physical copy of Metroid Prime remastered for the Switch. I bought this game physically because I no longer had the physical original that I had on GameCube, but that was the first video game I bought for my first job when I was working at Babbage's at 16 years old. My first paycheck, I bought a copy of Metroid Prime. So I embrace digital a lot more. It is so much more convenient. It's nice downloading a game on your phone and syncing it to your console, like with the current gen, and just having games ready for you when you come home from work. That's great. Or Game Pass is like your own interactive blockbuster at this point. But as much as I embrace it, I still love physical media. It's still something I enjoy. And going back into retro, I actually play more retro games now. Than I did 10 years ago. I'll be honest, when I was collecting a lot of retro games, I was buying more than I was playing, and it wasn't intentional. I wasn't trying to have some sort of flex online. It it became a hobby within itself. I enjoyed going to flea markets and buying games, and then I would find myself having to make a pickup video on it, and then I would find myself, making a little review of it, or just playing a little bit of it, or not even playing it at all, where now with emulation like the Raspberry Pi, my retro handhelds, it allows me to play a lot of these games just quick and easy. I don't have to worry about hooking up a certain television like a CRT. I don't have to worry about, HDMI cables. It's just all one unit, and I absolutely love it. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is I play handheld games a lot more. I never thought that I would be a handheld gamer. I mean, I've had Game Boys, I've had the Game Gear, I've had a lot of handhelds over the years, but it was always, to play games that were exclusive, like Pokemon. And it was something to have when I was going on a road trip, or I was somewhere that I didn't have access to my video games. But, I think like most people, since 2017, since the launch of the Switch, it helped really convert and make it more comfortable to play handheld and more accessible for someone like myself who, for the past, 7 years, it wasn't until just last year I was working 2 jobs. One of the jobs I worked at was a pachinko parlor, and I would open up the store, and like the first 3 hours would be super dead. So it would allow me to pull out my Switch. I would be playing a game that some company sent to me for a review. So a lot of my reviews that you guys watched for the past 5 to 7 years on YouTube, when I covered games on the Switch, a lot of that was from, being at work. I would write down the scripts, I would, play the games and make notes, and then come home and record the B-roll and gameplay footage. So it made me more keen to play games handheld, not just a preference, but kind of a necessity. Also, I found out I had to wear glasses. And I've heard people say this before. People who had started wearing glasses become in love with handheld gaming. And I think it's just because it kind of shows you how much better you can see. And I had no idea. It wasn't until I was in the kitchen and on my table, my stepfather and we do the Gundam models. We were doing some Gunpla, and he left his reading glasses on the table. And you see glasses sitting somewhere, you're going to try them on. So I put them on, thinking oh man, how messed up is his eyes going to be? I put it on, and it was like seeing a whole nother world. It was like seeing things in HD. My life was an HD remake. And because I can see better, I can see handheld gaming so much better now. It's not weird. I was about to say it's weird, but it's really not weird. But I play so much more retro on say my Ambernic 280V. I did a recent review on it, and I absolutely love this machine because I can play all these retro games on say my lunch break, and I really enjoy playing a game on the go, coming home, and not even turning on the TV. Just maybe playing some music on the headphones and just playing a handheld game and drinking a hot cup of tea. Yeah, I'm definitely in my mid-30s. But anyway, guys, that's how much I've changed when it comes to a gamer. I looked at 10 years. What about you guys? How about the last 5, 2, 3 years? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts and opinions. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe, but also ring the bell so you're notified on all future videos that come out on this channel. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.